thanks to you. And I just want to give you a little background on James. He's been at this longer than certainly I have, and as long as all these fellows from the Cemetery Association who've been keeping the flame burning all these years. James has brought us into fellowship, into collaboration with like organizations from Cork to West Virginia to Colorado to the consulate in Chicago. He is the right person, retired union man, never retires from his activism, to bring us those greetings from Mother Jones' birthplace in Cork, Ireland, and also from the consulate in Chicago. So welcome, James Golds.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you, Joanne, for those kind words. Nobody operates in a vacuum. All those kind things she said about me are not exactly true because I didn't do anything by myself. I worked with Dale Hawkins back there, General Bradley, Fawn Amber Montoya, who's one of our authors you'll see later downtown, and many others. I don't want to get into naming everybody because sure as heck I'll leave somebody's name out and hurt their feelings. But I didn't do any of those things she said by myself. I am a longtime giant fan of the Irish firebrand Mother Jones since around 1984. I'm not Irish, but I'm wearing this shirt and hat that I did buy in Ireland because I thought it was an appropriate time for this. And to show our respect for the great spirit of Mother Jones, I'll lay these flowers on her grave. And let me attempt to frame why we're all here today. Mother Jones was a legend among union organizers and stood tall for the working people, gave voice for them. And I think what drew me in was how she used that voice. It was not an ordinary voice because she was often profane when speaking about the corporate burglars and thieves. And then I really got hooked whenever I read that poet and writer Upton Sinclair called her the walking wrath of God. Now, listen to this. Most of you here will probably not know this. She is the only labor leader in the USA that has a festival in the country of her birth, Cork, Ireland, and as well as festivals in her name at her final resting place in the USA. Here in Union Miners Cemetery, by the way, which is the only union-owned cemetery in the United States. And the longest running festival takes place annually around October 12th by a group who formed the Mother Jones Foundation in Springfield, Illinois in 1986. Is that correct? 86? 86 I get. And let's hear what the Irish brethren have to say about her. I have a couple of pieces from the Irish. We'll hear what they think. The first is from the Spirit of Mother Jones Festival, which is held in Cork City, Cork, Ireland, and it's to the Union Miners Perpetual Care Association. The Cork Mother Jones Committee wish to warmly congratulate all associated with organizing the forthcoming festival at Mount Olive and the placement of a commemorative bench in honor of the lost family of Mary Harris. We extend this message of solidarity and fraternity from the city of Cork, where Mary Harris was born in 1837, to the proud community of Mount Olive, to which she entrusted her remains in 1930. As Mother Jones rightly takes her place in the pantheon of extraordinary women and men who have fought so hard for the right of workers to organize, for the right of children to receive an education, and for social justice and fair play in society. It is indeed fitting and appropriate that her own forgotten family of George, her husband, and her 4 children, Catherine, Elizabeth, Terence, and Mary, are remembered. Mary Harris Jones turned the tragedy of their deaths in that Memphis epidemic into a personal crusade to ensure hope for a better life for the larger human family consisting of millions of ordinary Americans. Her resilience and courage remain an inspiration today to millions more across the world. instead of disappearing into the footnotes of history. Her incredible story is still told in schools, communities, and trade union halls, and it can be found wherever people come together to fight for social and labor justice. Mother Jones lies buried among her boys in the Union Miners Cemetery at Mount Olive, but her spirit lives on in the hearts and minds of working people, and we were delighted to hear her battle cry being invoked again by the President of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins, in 2020, which in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, he called on the people of Ireland to pray for the dead and fight like hell for the living, as he praised our resilient frontline workers for their efforts to fight the virus. The Cork Mother Jones Committee is delighted to endorse this wonderful initiative of the Union Miners Cemetery Perpetual Care Association alongside the Illinois AFL-CIO and United Mine Workers Local 16 of 13 of Mount Olive, when we commend and support your initiative. From Cork City, we extend fraternal greetings of solidarity and wish you every success with the festival. Yours in solidarity, Jared O. Mahoney, Coordinator, Spirit of Mother Jones Festival 2020. Now I have one from the Consulate General of Ireland. On this day, May 1st, 2022, the birthday of Mary Harris, we commemorate her life and work with all the friends of Mother Jones here today in her resting place of Mount Olive. We also think of those across the country and in her birthplace of County Cork, Ireland, whose lives have been inspired by her advocacy for the health and welfare of so many workers over 120 years ago. Today, in particular, we are focused on the lives and the tragic loss of the husband and children of Mary Harris, George, Catherine, Elizabeth, Terence, and Mary Jones. We remember them with compassion and as symbols of how out of devastating loss may come an extraordinary strength and tendency to fight for fairness and great social justice. The bench that is dedicated today and these names represent how this remarkable woman's spirit is still vibrant, empowering, and very much alive. The work of the Union Miners Cemetery to protect the gravesite of Mother Jones and establishment of Friends of Mother Jones Museum to preserve her legacy is a testament to your commitment to ensure that the light of Mary and George Jones and their children, Catherine, Elizabeth, Terence, and Mary, will never be extinguished. They will be forever remembered by the dedication of this bench here today. As we remember the young girl who left Cork, crossed the Atlantic with her family, settled in Toronto, and then came to the U.S., we reflect on how she did not know that the future would hold such adversity. The Irish famine, yellow fever, and the Chicago fire were not to define her. Instead, she emerged as an advocate for the rights of workers. She became one of the most famous women in America because of this advocacy. On behalf of the people of Ireland, I thank you all for your work that has brought us to this day and look forward to a future visit and an occasion to meet you again in the spirit of Mother Jones. Yours sincerely, Sarah Keating, Acting Consul General. Glad the wind didn't take that away. It's a bit windy. There's a spiritual aspect to this cemetery and her monument. I'll just flat out say it. There's a spiritual effect here where I'm standing. Those that come here regular can attest to that. As I look around the crowd, I can see people that know exactly what I'm talking about. Mother told Nelson Gurman to honor her family. So as a group of like-minded people are here today dedicating a bench in honor of her husband and children. Her family is buried in paupers' graves in Memphis, Tennessee. They should be remembered. Mother mourns them. Going forward, they no longer will be known as her husband and 4 children. Going forward, they will be known as George, Elizabeth, Catherine, Terence, and Mary. Her monument, Union Miners Cemetery, who believes they are Union should come and meditate. I'll say that again. Anybody that considers themselves Union should come to this spot and meditate. Her spirit is the background of the Union movement. and her name is continuously evoked at union rallies, even 92 years after her death. Lastly, Mother helped many unions as she had a special love for mine workers. United Mine Workers Local 1613 has been especially strong in their support of this legendary figure. And speaking of the United Mine Workers of America, the greatest labor leader of our time, United Mine Worker President Cecil Roberts, asked us to pray for their members who have been protesting unfair labor practices at Warrior Met Coal in Brookwood, Alabama for over a year. He said, "Prayers get answered." I believe him. I cannot think of a better place to pray than the grave of Mother Jones and to ask help arrives and they get a fair contract. So please, in your own way, please take a moment to pray for those Warrior Met mine workers. Long live the spirit of Mother Jones.
2 years ago, James carried some dirt from above Mother's grave to court for us. We've shared that dirt with West Virginia, with the Durham Miners Association, our good friend David Ray, the historian there, and the Durham Miners Association, Durham, England, the largest labor group in Europe. We're sprinkling that good Mount Olive dirt with those good radical DNA in it to the rest of the world. So.